All right, we're live. Okay, so today I needed to start a little bit later. I had an incident with my son. I had to run back to his school, so that's why we're doing this 10:15 start instead of the 10 start. And I am just going to kind of get into this because if you miss anything, these videos will go to my YouTube so you can catch up there. So what we're gonna do, the first thing is start with your potatoes. So today we're doing herby potato salad, and then we're gonna do whole roasted chicken with tarragon, and we're gonna finish it with tarragon cream and garlic, which is so delicious. So if you have your potatoes, what you wanna do is grab your potatoes, put them in a large pot, add some salt like I have back here, and just set them kind of on the boil right now. And while we're prepping our chicken, that will be cooking. Um, and if you have any questions, I think you can like write messages down below. I can't see you, but hi. And then once that's done, we're gonna open up our chicken. We're gonna clean them out, and we're actually gonna butterfly them today. So if you have a good pair of kitchen scissors or a sharp knife, you can use these. If you don't want to butterfly it, you don't have to. Your timing will just take a little bit longer. I'm going to use a big roasting pan because I'm using 2 chickens because I have 5 men in my family. Um, but if you're not gonna butterfly it, I would recommend using, if you have a Dutch oven, use that. That would work really well for this. So let's go open up our chicken and clean it out, and then we're gonna butterfly them. So I'm gonna take you guys over to my sink right here. And I always recommend cleaning and doing this in a sink. Make sure your sink is clean, and then you're gonna wanna clean it out really nicely when you're done. So I'm just gonna cut, make sure you don't nick the skin. I'm gonna cut the bag and start opening this up. I think this is the part that freaks most people out, is cleaning the chicken and getting it ready, but you shouldn't be scared of that. It's pretty easy. So um, one woman show over here. So you're taking your chicken, you're gonna, don't forget in the little cavity, there's definitely gonna be a bag of surprises, which I'm just gonna throw away. And then I'm gonna rinse my chicken and then set it on this other cutting board, and I'm gonna pat it dry. So go ahead and do that if you're gonna follow along with me. Open up your chicken bag, pull out the middle part, set it aside, rinse it off, and then grab some paper towels and pat it dry. Okay. Oops, gross. All right, let me wash. Actually, I'm just gonna pat my hands dry. Okay, so now we're over here. So just take your paper towel and pat it dry really well. Do both sides. And then you're gonna want your chicken on its breast side. So the back side, the skinny side, is facing up. The breast side right here is gonna face down. So now you're gonna take your kitchen scissors or your knife. If you have a knife, just be really careful to cut away from you. I'm gonna take my kitchen scissors and I'm just cutting on the back side of the spine. I'm not cutting in the middle of the spine, I'm cutting on both sides and just straight down. It's definitely sounds gross, but I like doing it this way because it just cooks a lot faster. And if you want to keep this backbone part, you can put it in a Ziploc freezer baggie and freeze it. And the next time you want to make some soup, you can just put it in with some boiling water and vegetables and cook it up. So this is definitely the least glamorous part of a chicken. It's not pretty. Okay, so one is done. Now I'm going to do the other one. Just flop these over. And again, make sure you're not cutting the breast side, this thicker side, flipping it over. Okay. Okay. And then get both sides. And then once that's done, you're gonna take your pan that you have and you're gonna flip the chicken on the other side and give it a little crack. I'll show you once I'm done with this. Gross. It's just like never fun or pretty. It's pretty disgusting. Okay, grab my pan. I also forgot to mention, turn your oven on to 415 and let that heat up while we're finishing this off. So I'm going to do that as well. Okay, hopefully your oven is set. It's preheating. So now we're taking our chicken and we're going to flip it this way. And you're going to stick your hands under like this. And you're just going to give it a little crack. And that's just butterflying it. And then I'm just going to put it in my pan and do the same thing to this one. Just gonna give it a little crack and flip it over. Okay, now I'm gonna wash my hands and we're gonna move on to the prettier things. Okay, so let's grab my camera and our chickens and I'll show you how mine look. So they're just like this. I'm just tucking them side by side just to keep them there. So the next thing I'm gonna do is we have our fennel and our lemon and olive oil and salt and pepper, and that's really it. So we're just making this chicken as simple as possible. The winning and ingredient that makes this chicken, this roast chicken, so much more elevated is the tarragon cream and garlic that we're gonna pour over at the very end. And it is just such a lovely chicken. I've been making this for a few weeks now for my family. I mean, we roast a chicken every single week. It's just such an easy meal to prep for everyone. But adding the tarragon and lemon and garlic, it just really elevates it. I normally do like an orange vermouth chicken, which is also delicious. And that's the thing that I love about roasting is you can really take it any way you want it. So I'm just gonna cut 2 lemons for my 2 chickens. So if you're doing one, you just need one. And then I'm gonna take my fennel and cut the end off. And I'm just gonna peel this outer layer and I'm gonna give this a good rinse really quick and then I will come back and chop it. Okay, so hopefully you've rinsed yours as well. We're just gonna thickly chop it. Um, it does not have to look pretty. This is just gonna add a lot of flavor with our chicken juice and everything else that's going into here. I'm gonna cut it up to that point. You can save these little guys for the end and put it on your chicken when it's coming out of the oven. It'll look really pretty. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. I have the worst allergies right now. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to our chicken. Let me swap these two out. There we go. And we're just gonna take our fennel and start laying it in the bottom of the pan around the chicken. And the same with our lemon. We're not putting anything on top of the chicken skin because we want that skin to get nice and crisp. You can even lift up your chicken and then place the lemon wedges like underneath your chicken, which is great. And if it still feels a little wet to you, I would take those paper towels again and just really pat it dry. You really want your chicken to be nice and dry and not have any not have any water or wetness on it. Okay, so mine is now done. I'm gonna pat it dry again because it still feels a little wet, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I just have my lemon tucked under there, my fennel around it. Um, I mean, if you have an onion as well, you can slice your onion and place that in there as well. Just gonna keep patting this. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is add our olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then we're gonna put it in our oven. We're not gonna put it in the oven until it's totally preheated. We want the oven nice and hot when we're putting our chicken in there. So mine still needs a minute because I didn't do it right away. Okay, let me get my salt. And my salt and my pepper. I'm gonna wash my hands again before I touch those things. Okay, so now we're just gonna add, I'm gonna use olive oil, and be generous as you're pouring your olive oil. I'll show you guys. We're just gonna pour it on top of our chicken. Like that. And then kind of drizzle a little bit on the other side of the pan. And then I'll take my salt and just add that to the top of our chicken. I'm adding like a teaspoon, a little over a teaspoon, just pinching it, putting it on. And then the cracked pepper. Okay, and that's it. Super simple. Well, we start at 10:15, it's 10:27. It's so fast to get this prepped and done. This is what it looks like. My oven is not quite there yet, so I'm gonna just set this aside, and now I'm gonna prep the cream. And I'm not gonna keep this on the whole time while it cooks because this will now cook for the next 50 minutes. Keep an eye on it. Check in like 45 minutes your chicken. It should be golden brown. A good way to test if your chicken is done is if you like touch the wings, and if they easily will fall off the bone, that's a good indicator it's done. If you have a chicken, like a thermometer, you can check temperature wise. So what's going to happen is you're going to cook this now for the next 50 minutes. Check in about 45-minute mark. If it's looking golden brown, looking ready, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to add your cream, garlic, and tarragon, and you're going to pour it over your chicken when it has about 5 minutes left to bake. You'll put it back in and finish it off that way. So I'm going to set this aside and let's prep that cream, and then we'll go from there. And if your oven is ready to put your chicken in, go for it. So I have about 1 cup heavy cream. Because I have 2 chickens, I'm probably actually gonna add a little bit more cream for mine, but for you, if you have 1 chicken, 1 cup cream, 1 bunch tarragon. Tarragon has this really lovely like licorice flavor or smell to it. So it is a little bit more woody. So you're not just gonna chop it, you're gonna pluck off the leaves. So start doing that, start plucking off your leaves. You can put your cream in a measuring cup because then all of this will go in there together. And then you can just set it in your fridge, and then it's just ready for you when your chicken is done. So I don't know if you have any questions or if this is making sense. But yeah, so now we're just gonna pluck these off. And then we're gonna chop about 5 garlic cloves to go with this as well. So much. My son is playing golf at school, and he had a golf game down in Thousand Oaks, and he left his shoes at school, and he thought they were still there. So when I dropped him off this morning, they were not there. My husband actually brought it home, but forgot to tell him. And so he showed up to school just in socks. But thankfully, his teachers are amazing. And one of his teachers literally gave him her shoes, and she had like sandals. And thankfully, they have the same size feet. So that was very convenient. So that's why I had to push this back by a few minutes, because I had to run to the market. And then after the market, I came home and then I had to run back out to my son to give him his shoes. He looked very sheepish, slightly embarrassed. I think that's probably like a kid's nightmare, to show up at school and not have any shoes on their feet. It's so funny. So I don't know why he just didn't wear a different pair. But, they have it in their mind and they know what they want to do. All right, I am almost done with my tarragon. Sorry, I have such bad allergies right now as well. That's why I keep sniffling. But, okay. And then I might just, yeah, I'm going to use this last little bunch. And so if you're done with your tarragon and you have enough, you just want to take your knife and start chopping it up. And then once it's nice and chopped, you can just stick it in your cream. And then you can start peeling and cutting your garlic. And you're going to just finely mince your garlic. And you're going to add that as well to your cream. All right, how much more? I think this is my last bit I'm going to do. Okay. That's it. Where'd my knife go? Okay, so now I'm just chopping my tarragon, just finely chopping. And you really want to hold your knife like at the base of the handle and kind of anchor the top. You don't want to like cut it back and forth like you're cutting bread with a serrated knife. You really want to give it like a nice square chop. I like to keep everything kind of in a neat little square as I'm chopping. Keep it all right next to me. Okay, that's it. Done. Putting it in my cream. Oh gosh, it smells so good once it's chopped. It's amazing. Okay, that's done. And now I realize I need to find my garlic. So let me get my garlic. Okay, I'm going to use about 4 to 5 garlic cloves, depending how large they are. These ones are a little bit small, so I think I'm going to go for 5, maybe even 6. There's a pan in there. Okay. So that's okay. So for my garlic, blade away from you, palm down, smash it. And then if they have the little germination, just pull that middle part out. Which these ones do. I'm finding garlic is not great right now at the grocery store. Like it's either, I don't know, it's already like sprouting or it's just a little bit off. Not sure why that is. Okay. Okay, and like that one looks terrible, so I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to grab a couple more. Okay, this is my last one. So just like with the tarragon, I'm gonna keep it really, ooh, that's kind of yucky. Get rid of that. If you have like that bruising on it, don't use that. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it all kind of nice and neat and together and just finely mince my garlic. Okay. And then after this, we're gonna prep and move on to our herby potatoes. Haven't forgotten about those. If you are done chopping your garlic, you should check on your potatoes and just touch them with a fork. If they're soft to touch, then they're good to go. If they're not, just wait a little bit longer. It should be about 20 minutes that the potatoes will need to be in the hot water. Okay, my garlic is nearly there. Okay, we're good. So now we're just taking all that garlic and we're sticking it in our cream with tarragon. And like I said, just set it aside, put it in your fridge until the very end. So I won't be here with you when your chicken is done, but once it's done, you're just gonna pull it out, pour your cream and tarragon and garlic all over it, and let it bake again for about like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. And the smell of it is just so amazing. It's so delicious. And that's it for your chicken. So again, super simple. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know after you've made it. So let's move on to our our herby potato salad. Um, Let me first put my chicken in the oven because the time is ready, and then we'll move over to that. Okay. All right. So I'll take you over here with me to my potatoes. They're still definitely not ready. They're still a little hard to touch, which is totally fine. So instead, I'm gonna prep everything I need for the potato salad. So we're using flat leaf parsley. I just got one of these. It's just chives, a little bunch of them. And then we have shallot. And I like to use whole grain Dijon mustard, but you can use any type of Dijon mustard. It's really your preference. So what we're gonna do to prep, I'm gonna get a little bowl and I'm just gonna chop all my herbs up, and then I'm gonna finely chop my shallot, and then we'll go from there. Okay, 2 bowls. One for my herbs, one for my shallot, and let's start with our chives. You're just gonna bunch up your chives, keep them very tight together. And again, anchor the tip of your knife and then go down. You should never be sawing and cutting with a nice chef's knife. Really should be able to chop it finely. If your knives are dull, there's so many great knife sharpening, like mobile knife sharpeners in your town that you should definitely call. A good knife in the kitchen is everything. It really changes it from being enjoyable for it being like tedious. So if you're having a hard time with your knife and with cutting, and if it's just giving you trouble, either change out your knife if it's not a great knife or get it sharpened. Okay, finely chopped, super simple. Throwing that in one bowl. Okay. And then our flat leaf parsley. If you have curly parsley, that's fine too. These are not woody, so I'm just going to chop them. I'm not going to individually pluck it from its stem because that's tedious and there's no time for that. And you can eat all the way up to here, but I'm going to stop it probably about like an inch, like from right there. I'm not going to use that part. So again, I'm just going to bunch it all together. I've already rinsed this and just start chopping. this, ooh, it smells so good. This you'll really want to chop a little bit finer, so kind of matches the fineness of this. What did we use? Chives. Okay, so then we're just gonna go back and forth. That's great. Super simple. Okay, so now we're just going to put that with our chives. And then we're going to grab our shallot. So I have one shallot that I'm going to chop up. And the way we do this potato, early potato salad is we're going to, once the potatoes are done, we're going to remove them, drain them. And then in that same pot they were boiling in, we're going to just have a low heat and we're going to kind of slowly just cook the Dijon mustard and the shallots together and let it kind of just get a little bit warm. It's like a low heat and it's not for a very long time. And then we're going to add back our potatoes, and you can either smash them, you can chop them smaller, you can keep them big, whatever it's really your preference. And then we're gonna layer. So we're gonna do potatoes and we're gonna mix it with the shallots and the Dijon. And then we're gonna add our herbs and kind of mix it around, and a really good olive oil. If you have a great olive oil, drizzle that over it, and then repeat. Okay, so we're just gonna chop our shallots really finely. I like to go one way and then the other way. Okay, and then we're going to do the next one. Ooh, it's getting into my eyes. Wow. I think sometimes shallots get me more than onions. Okay, then we're going to go the other way. Oh, I can't see anymore. I'm just going to close my eyes and chop. Oh my gosh. Okay, nearly there. Okay, shallots are done. I'm gonna blow my nose and pat my eyes because they are stinging and crying. Oh my gosh. Okay, shallots one bowl, herbs in the other bowl. I'm gonna blow my nose. I'll be right back. I think I have mascara under my eyes. It's the only makeup I have on right now. Ooh, my nose got red. Okay. Okay, we are nearly there. Let's bring everything to the other side. I have my little spoon and my Dijon mustard. I'm going to grab my salt because salt is very important to put on these potatoes. And good olive oil. If you know me, you know I love Loretic olive oil. She's a friend of mine. I think her olive oil is some of the best. It's a great finishing oil for salad dressings. This potato, herby potato, it's so good. I'm gonna check my potatoes. Ooh, they're feeling soft, which is great. You don't want them like too soft where they're like falling apart and like becoming like herby mashed potatoes, you know? Okay, so my potatoes are done. If yours are not, don't worry. This will upload to YouTube after and also save here on Substack, so you can always rewatch. I think you can fast forward it as well, so you can jump to whatever part you need. I'm gonna drain my potatoes, and then I'll show you how to finish this off. Put on my gloves because it's hot. Oops. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so I drained my potatoes. I'm setting them aside in my Dutch oven. I am now gonna add some olive oil, turn the heat back on to low. We're gonna drizzle some of our yummy olive oil in here. The heat's on a low, but remember this is still really hot because you just boiled all the water. So you can just straight away drop your, here, sorry, whoop, going all over. Drop your shallots in and you're just gonna mix it around so they get nicely well coated and they start to cook just a tiny bit. So, okay, set my bowl aside. We're just kind of like lightly, gently sauteing this. There's some herbs in mine because I chopped it all on the same board, which was totally fine. So just nicely, I'm just kind of like laying them out down here. It's actually so nice because obviously I'm doing this just for my family, so I'm not doing this for like a massive group of people. So I think it will taste even better because it'll be less potatoes. And I don't know, sometimes it's nice just to cook for a few people. Although I feel like I had to relearn how to do that because when I learned how to cook, I lived with a very large family and it was like always making food for 11 people. So then when I got married and it was just two of us, I couldn't help but make like huge vats of like red lentils or like pasta or whatever it was I was making. I really had to learn, like rewire my brain of like, oh, this is for like a smaller group, not like a massive group. So anyways, okay, shallots are looking lovely. I am going to take some of my potatoes. They're obviously a little bit hot. Set them in there. I'm going to actually slice just in here and just cut them into quarters because they're a little bit big. I like to think and imagine when I'm doing food like that bite people will take to figure out what size everything should be. And obviously it probably would have been more convenient if I pre-sliced these before I put them in, but I don't really have time, so it's okay. So I'm just cutting these into quarters and letting them kind of just soak up that lovely shallot and olive oil flavor at the bottom of my pan. It already smells so good. Shallots, I think, are some of my favorite. Which is my dog. Okay, almost there. And at this point too, I'm just gonna turn off my heat altogether. I don't need the heat on anymore. This isn't like a warm salad. It can be served. It could be served right away warm, but it doesn't need to be at all. Okay. And then we're gonna add our mustard. Okay, now these are all in here. This is perfect. You can kind of just see what this looks like. Just kind of in there. I'm gonna add my mustard. That's fine. For this amount, I'm gonna do like probably 3 tablespoons of this, 3 or 4. It's really your preference. Like how mustardy do you like? What do you want? I don't know. So I'm just adding that mustard. Sorry, I really need a better system. I'm mixing it around just so it all gets really nicely coated. And then we're just adding our herbs to this. Look at my tiny baby spoon I'm using. It's ridiculous. Okay, so now we're just mixing it around. So they are going to be very herby and delicious because normally I would probably have twice as many potatoes for that herb combination, which is Totally fine. Again, if you like more herbs, go for more. If you prefer less herby, do that. I love a very herby potato salad, regular salad on my food everywhere. I feel like a meal is not complete without an herb. When I go to a restaurant and it's all brown and I don't see like a single piece of green, I get a little sad. Okay, at this point, I'm gonna add my salt. Just put that all in there. And then we're gonna give it a last little mix. And then your potato salad is done. So, which is great. And you can, if you're eating this meal tonight, you can just let it cool down and then store it in a container in your fridge and then bring it out later. And I would probably at that point, I would just give it a little drizzle with olive oil um, when you're ready. I'm going to do it also right now. So then that's done. I'm going to take this outside so I can show you what it looks like. So we have better lighting because the lighting's not that amazing. So I will be right back. All right, let's go walk outside. It is such a gorgeous day today. Okay, so here are herby potatoes. They look great. They smell amazing. I cannot wait to eat these. And I'm gonna go back inside. And then yeah, so your chicken again. I mean, we can check in our chicken. Mine is like obviously not quite even there. It's still kind of pale, which is totally fine. It's going to take more time because I have two in there. So just at the end, like I said, with your chicken, when you're ready to pour your cream, garlic, and tarragon, it's going to be really when your chicken is done. It's going to be nice and golden. It will be ready. You're just going to drizzle it on top. Let it cook for another 5 minutes. And that's pretty much it. So I hope this was helpful for you. I feel like this was longer than normal because normally I just do one thing and today we did two. So I'm very proud of us for getting through this. And sorry that I'm carrying my phone around, but that is how we do it right now. Hope you have a great day and enjoy your dinner tonight. And if you have any questions, please always feel free to put them in or send me a message and I will answer as many as I can. Okay, bye.